venom rain. She clawed and cursed, tried to stain your name, dragged you through the mud, through the twisted lies, but you rose like thunder, fire in your eyes. Cold blown chaos, live stream heat. She threw her worst, but you didn't retreat. You held your crown, didn't blink, didn't fold. Now she's left in the cold while your story's gold. We saw the war, we felt the sting, but you stood tall, crown queen of the ring. She pushed hard, you pushed harder. Now she shattered, you're the starter. Queen bee, let it go, that's the way it's savage. You crushed her chaos, turned pain to damage. We're no almost fuzzy, loud and raw. You're the realest bee, we saw it all. Now shine, queen, let the neon burn. She played with fire, now it's your turn. Yo, you came for blood, but you brought the hive. Every jab she threw, you came back alive. Didn't beg, didn't break, didn't play her game. You spit truth, she spit shame. We were there, every stream, every fight, backing you up in the dead of night. You tried to twist, tried to gaslight the scene, but you dropped the hammer, Mjolnir queen. Now she's ghosted, you're the glow. Live stream lit, let the honey flow. No ish, no fake tears, just grit and grind through all those years. Now it's peace, baby, storm-lit skies, LED wings, let the queen rise. Crush the chaos, now it's shine time, where you hide your loyal crew. Forever stung, forever true. So pop that champagne, raise that sting. You must be crowned queen of the ring. Queen bee, let it go, this win is savage. You crushed your chaos, turned pain to damage. You're almost fuzzy, loud and raw. You're the realest bee, we saw it all. Now shine, queen, let the neon burn. She played with fire, now it's your turn. But the queen stung back, no mercy. She lit the match, but you brought the blaze, turned every insult into praise. Victim, you played truth. Every scream she faced exposed the proof. You didn't flinch, didn't fade, didn't run. You faced the storm and became the sun. Now she's stuck in her echo cage, while you write freedom on every page. Your baby smiled, your heart stands tall. You broke the curse, you crushed it all. Queen bee, let it go, this win is savage. You crushed her chaos, turned pain to damage. When you're almost fuzzy, loud and raw, you're the realest bee, we saw it all. Now shine, queen, let the neon burn. She played with fire, now it's your turn. She tried to storm, but the queen stung back, no mercy. She lit the match, but you brought the blaze, turned every insult into praise. She played victim, you played truth. Every scream she faced exposed the proof. You didn't flinch, didn't fade, didn't run. You faced the storm and became the sun. She tried to swarm, but the queen stung back, no mercy.
Hey, BJ, hey, time to wake up. Nodding off while the truth blows up. Moo Moo and Larry, lost in the fog. Talking wild, got cats and blogs. Pack it up, pack it in, get out for them. Before the storm turns into mayhem. We ain't haters, we just see the signs. Your true color stream every time. I've lived that life, I've seen that pain. By your dad drank, left a trauma stain. 10 years of CPTSD, don't pass that down, set your babies free. If you but life, I've seen that pain. By your dad drank, left a trauma stain. 10 years of CPTSD, don't pass that down, set your babies free. FU J still going strong, we expose the lies all night long. Not out of hate, but to make it right. So wake up, BJ, open your sight. You snooze while the damage grows. He's spilling truth that nobody knows. We We don't touch real life, but one of yours did. Now your kids live where the chaos hid. Pack it up, pack it in, get out for them before the storm turns into mayhem. We ain't haters, we just see the signs. Your true color stream every time. I've lived that life, I've seen that pain. Bio that drank, left a trauma stain. 10 years of CPTSD. Don't pass that down, set your babies free. I know the signs, I've walked that road where silence screams and love erodes. You think it's normal, just a phase, but your kids are watching every blaze, every blurred word, every slam door. They're learning what love should never be for. Pack it up, pack it in, get out for them before the storm turns into mayhem. We ain't haters, we just see the signs. Your true color stream every time. You laugh it off, say we're just pressed, but we see the way you won't confess. Behind the neon, behind the stream, it's a woman trapped in someone else's dream. You play it cool, but the cracks show through. We hear the fear in the things you don't do. You dim your light to match his rage, but you were born to break that cage. We're not your enemies, we're just loud mirrors, reflecting truth through static and jeers. You could rise, you could rewrite the scene, but first you gotta wake from this machine. Sorry, not sorry, bitch, we won't back down. We'll keep reviewing, round by round. You can do better, I know you can, but first you gotta leave that man. Pack it up, pack it in, get out for them before the storm turns into mayhem. We ain't haters, we just see the signs. Your true color stream every time. Sorry, not sorry, bitch, we won't back down. We'll keep reviewing, round by round. You can do better, I know you can, but first you gotta leave that man. F.U. Blue Jay still going strong. We expose the lies all night long, not out of hate, but to make it right. So wake up, BJ, open your sight. Sorry, not sorry, bitch, we won't back down. We'll keep reviewing, round by round. You can do better, I know you can, but first you gotta leave that man.
To all of you who tune in live, watch my vids and help me thrive. You're making dreams come true each day. With every view you light my way. Not for fame, not for the gold, I speak my truth, I break the mold. If I help one soul or maybe more, that's the dream I'm fighting for. Life gets rough, it falls apart, but we stay strong, we lead with heart. Men and women side by side, we lift each other when we cry. SBC crew, let's rise and shout. We're the ones they talk about. Dark side now, we shine so bright. Truth and love, we bring the light. 1K subs, we're on that track. Giving, 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 we give back. Covering cases, calling names, exposing lies, we play no games. Creators, subs, we stand as one. Queen Clue, Cletus, love you tons. Clip channels, fam, you gave me wings. Believed in me, now hear me sing. I'm here to chat, to laugh, to heal. DM away, I keep it real. Art and resin, songs and lines, drawings, AI created signs. Every stream, each background play counts for something every day. SBC crew, let's rise and shout. We're the ones they talk about. Dark side now, we shine so bright. Truth and love, we bring the light. 1K subs, we're on that track. Giving, 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 we give back. I've seen the nights where silence screams, where hope feels lost inside our dreams. But every comment, every cheer reminds me why I'm still right here. We're not just clips or viral trends, we're truth tellers, we're loyal friends. We speak for those who've lost their voice, we stand for justice, that's our choice. From resin gifts to neon light, I craft with love, I fight with might. Each drawing, song, or AI face carries your strength, your warm embrace. So when the trolls come out to play, remember the name. SPC crew, we're bold, we're loud, we lift each other, make you proud. This verse is yours, this beat is true. I'm here because of all of you. So here's my heart, my voice, my dream. Together we're a mighty team. Thank you all for riding through. SPC crew, I see you.
Yeah, it's that porch swing posse meets back row bass. Little sailor riding tall on a short stack frame. Mask on, true loaded, receipts in the glove box. Let's purge. They're short but mighty, boots on the airwaves. Sailor drives thunder down TikTok lanes. Air skull on the Stetson, mask on the screen. Calling out the bullshit purge queen mean. Hashtag purge crew rolling, we ride, we ride. From the holler to the hard drive, side by side. Yeah, got a steel string hard and a neon mic. She'll stitch your lies like a Friday night fight. Upload spin like a creek boat wheel. Popping open secrets with a howdy and steel. AI beats fused with that banjo chop. Throw a yeehaw over 808 drop. Survivor strong. Got scars that sing. Turns trauma to a torch. Watch the porch light bling. Receipts in the saddlebag. Hashtags blaze. Hashtag FUBJ. Spray painted on the side of the stage. If you fake that funk, better duck that shade. Sailors coming through the mask of mighty. Boots on the airwaves. Slowly time flowing out, please top lanes. Air skull on the Stetson, mask on the screen. Calling out the bullshit purge queen mean. Hashtag purge crew rolling, we ride, we ride. From the holler to the hard drive, side by side. Yeah. From the red clay roads to the Wi-Fi stream, she wrangles trolls like tumbleweeds, living loud for the voiceless kin. Wheelchair wheels carve the asphalt him. Hashtag RA survivor, hashtag DV strong. She's lifting up folks who've been done wrong. Tea gets spilled in a Dixie cup. Sip that truth, watch the sub count jump. Light it one for the lost, crank the amps for the found. When the night gets thick, she's the loudest sound. Hip high ain't might, that's her battle cry. Standing tiptoe tall to paint the sky. They're short but mighty, boots on the airwaves. Sailor drives thunder down TikTok lanes. Air skull on the Stetson, mask on the screen. Calling out the bullshit purge queen mean. Hashtag purge crew rolling, we ride, we ride. From the holler to the hard drive, side by side. And when the porch light flickers on a midnight screen, know a tiny titan's talking big and clean.
Hello, 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 everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I am going to be doing a shorter live tonight. I feel like dog poop, not gonna lie. I woke up and my whole body hurt, and I had to go file some papers in the court, and I don't know, or just a huge panic attack hit me to the point where I had to text Fenrir. He got Princess out of Recursi and came in because I felt like I was gonna lose my balance. So the vertigo, anxiety, and little stuffy and allergies isn't liking me today, but I wanted to get on here for at least a little bit. And I hope you guys are doing great. No panic attacks, like I don't even know what could have possibly triggered it. I walked into the courthouse just fine. I was fine. Everything was fine. Thanks, Cola. But everything was fine. I was feeling fine or whatever, and then all of a sudden, it feels like where my legs feel like they're about to buckle. So my brain tries to affect my body to scare me. So I haven't had a bad panic attack in quite a while. So between that, I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. Like I said, my whole entire body hurts. So I'm exhausted, but I did want to come on and do at least do a few things on the hurricane, because I know a lot of people are covering it. I do have hold on. I can spell right. I picked Ryan Hall's links. One is a link that brings you straight to the donation pages for like whether like what's going on now for the Y'all Squad. Yep, I got my brother into him. And the other link is because 99.9% of the time, what he does is anybody who purchases merch, 100% of the proceeds from you buying that merch goes directly toward what's needed. So I know Vortex was streaming and they're good too. I just didn't see a link for like a donation page, nor did Fenrir. So I went with Ryan Hall, and if you don't follow him already, you definitely should. Like, I'm telling you, he covers everything from tornado outbreaks, hurricanes, snowstorms, any kind of bad weather. And he puts a lot of money into helping individuals. So, and I've been watching him for like about 2 years. So I figured that's the best place to go, because all the proceeds go there. And also I don't have to handle any money. Because we've all seen how that happens. I know that it's probably moved on, but I know for a while it stalled. Let's see. So I think he's still alive. So I'm gonna refresh and see. Oh, he's not live. Alright. JLR is live, however, so we'll we'll look into that and see how things are looking down there. It wasn't looking great when Fenrir was looking at the storm of the path. It was like stalled for a while. So I just pray for everybody that's in the way of this enormous hurricane. Pray for their safety, and that I know a lot of good people will donate to help them. And Ryan Hall, y'all, is definitely a very, very credible source. I wouldn't promote him if I thought any different. So I will hush my mouth for a few, and we'll see what's going on with the hurricane.
Extreme amount of rain. More of that. They've got mountains north and east of Kingston. And if you've been with us, we were talking about that with Brian Norcross. That's a longer fuse hazard, as all of that rain still has to make its way out of the higher elevations, out of the mountains, into the creeks, the streams in Kingston. Their stormwater removal system. They've got ditches that they've been working to make sure have been cleaned out to work to their absolute capacity, because they'll need it when we're talking about the numbers of rain up into the feet that have fallen, especially in some of those high elevation areas where the terrain has squeezed out more of that tropical moisture in, Melissa. So here we are, 5 p.m. advisory, a Category 4 hurricane with winds at 145 miles per hour. It appears as though we'll get another update coming out at 6 o'clock. We'll see if the new position from the National Hurricane Center, where they're calling it, we'll see. It's always the center of the inner core, that center of circulation. It appears as though that's now lifting north off the northern shores of Jamaica. We'll see. It's the NHC that calls that. But we've been talking about that jog to the right. The core got closer to Robert, and the wind direction shifting more. It was southwest and now westerly. We've got a whole half of this storm still to go for so much of Jamaica. Stay with us right here on Fox Weather as we continue to cover what was a monster.
Still going. It's a live feed. They also put a live feed up in Cuba, I believe.
If y'all can hear that wind like I'm hearing it, this storm is definitely strong. Have a good night, blessed. It's not even full impact. So I know over the next few hours it's gonna be craziness.
Still going on, though. It's still pounding against the windows. The question is, all that water from the mountains, where does it all go? What are we going to wake up in the morning to see? In the morning. What's going to happen first light? As the storm makes its way towards Cuba. What a crazy day, man. So 145, still at Cat 4. We'll see the update coming up in a couple minutes. Hold on, let me see. Let me see here. It's still out there crazy.
I'm gonna go back to Ryan Hall. He was on for quite some time. Yeah, this is what it. Just to see. Hi, Wishful. Just to see what it was like when it hit. Praying for all those people. Wishful, my prayers are with your family and that I get through this.
Those are the cloud top temperatures that you're looking at. The darker the color is on our scale, which is underneath the words IR satellite in the top right, you can see it go all the way to the right. Once we get into those white colors at the end, we have very, very, very tall clouds where that's occurring. So those are the strongest storms that are punching updrafts the highest, and the tops of those storms will be overshooting tops. They look like the popcorn shape. So that's the case on the Blackon satellite. That's what that is. It's referring to infrared readings of our cloud tops. The last thing I want to talk about is the Kingston winds. Somebody asked how bad the winds will be in Kingston. You guys are going to be probably outside of the hurricane force wind field for just about the entire time that this passes over Jamaica, according to the National Hurricane Center, because the hurricane force winds are still compact. They're about 50 or 60 miles wide in diameter. So if it makes landfall on the west end of the island nation, Kingston will be on the east end, and it's over.
There's no sound. Let me retry it.
But not necessarily the sustained winds. And that's a problem. That's specifically a problem, and we talked about this yesterday a couple times because people in Jamaica, don't necessarily stare at hurricanes for a living like we do, and for a hobbyist's sake or for information's sake. No matter what you guys are here for, they're going to think the winds are the bad thing. You guys probably think the winds are the bad thing. All of you probably think the winds are worse than the flooding, even though we've told you repeatedly it's the flooding that is the concern. So the problem with Kingston getting, not as much of those winds, not seeing the roofs rip off their houses, the neighbors' houses at any given moment, right? They're going to be like, oh, well, this is nowhere as bad as social media has been saying it would be, right? And they might put themselves back in a vulnerable spot because they're like, okay, the winds aren't going to be that bad, therefore I can go back. And going back might mean going back to a place that would be, much more impacted than wherever the shelter was they were staying. I don't know if we can reach that mentality of those people. Definitely not in this case where we only have a few hours left, right? And the island is losing power to some places. It'll be harder to reach these people, right? But before we definitely said the same thing, and now it is a lesson to learn from. If these people do go back, the flooding will accumulate passively, and that is the problem because they've put themselves back in a vulnerable spot potentially. And once the flooding happens over time, the decision is, do we go, do we not go? And a lot of people want to defend their home ground. So it's a bad case that they have been prepped so much with social media. The storm has meandered so slowly in the absence of steering winds for so long that they have gathered this intel and think that it's going to be a catastrophic 150-mile-an-hour winds in Kingston, which is just not going to be the case necessarily. So I am worried about that, and that's why I bring that up. Thanks for asking about the Kingston winds.
Thank you, Andy. And I think I figured out the problem there. Andy is on the same audio source as the wind sound, and we're ducking that to my voice. So whenever I made a sound, it was ducking Andy to where you couldn't hear him. So I've just got to move him onto a different source. And for this stream, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mute my mic whenever he's talking. Simple fix. All right. So, sorry I change everything between every stream. Like at one of these days, I promise that we're going to have everything figured out, and we'll just keep it the same forever. So one of these days, I don't know which day, but it'll be one of them. All right, so if you are just now tuning in, once again, we're doing hurricane coverage here with Hurricane Melissa. Here is our recon flight. Air Force flight is getting ready to go into the hurricane. It's going to try to get in there before landfall. And the reason why it's kind of important that it gets in there before landfall for data purposes is because, it will, so it's already weakening. It's already, having a lot of friction with Jamaica, and that's causing the storm to weaken. But especially once it makes landfall, it's going to weaken much faster. We would like to know how strong it is right before landfall, just simply for documentation purposes. I think we missed out on the storm's peak, but even right now, I think that it would be really nice to know what's going on in the middle of that storm as far as the central pressure and the wind speeds and the eye wall and stuff, because as soon as it makes landfall, that stuff's going to start rocketing down in the weaker sense as time goes on. But even though we are talking about it weakening, it's still going to be a Category 4 by the time it gets to Cuba, Category 2 by the time it gets to the Bahamas. So we're going to continue to track this past Jamaica, but just know that Jamaica is definitely going to be the place that receives the worst of this storm. Yeah, Prism, I figured that out. So, I'm just going to mute myself while he talks, and I think that'll fix it for this stream. And then next stream, I'm going to have everything on its own audio source. Y'all buy the wind sounds, scanners, Andy, and then we won't have that problem anymore. Are y'all doing anything for recovery efforts, Ryan? As of right now, we don't know. So that's going to be something that we meet about after the damage is assessed, and after we're able to talk to people who might need our help. So we don't deploy, we don't go do things without talking to emergency managers or local officials first. We have that down to a science in the United States. We know all the emergency managers. We are friends with a lot of other organizations that respond similarly in the United States, and we know how that works. We've never done anything outside of the United States. So this might be an opportunity for us to kind of observe and learn so that we can do it next time, or we might try to jump right in there and do something. Either way, we're not fundraising right now because I don't know for sure, and I don't want to raise a bunch of money here and us not go. So probably something that we should do is figure out a nice way to funnel donations in there, because I know a lot of you want to donate and you want to help, and it's easy to just go to the Y'all Squad and do that. So just give me some time and I'll give you some solid information there about what to do for that. Right now, let's just focus on landfall and the information that's coming from these planes and the cameras and stuff. Let's go cycle through the cameras once again. Flatbridge is completely covered up. I'm kind of keeping an eye on this sign, right? So to gauge how much deeper, I guess, the water's getting, I'm watching the sign. So if the water level starts approaching the bottom of that sign, we'll know that it's gone up another foot or two. There's also a person down here observing the water. You see him on the bottom right? 2 people. Here's another view of the stoplight cam. Things in downtown Kingston, once again, don't look too bad right now. The one area where things are probably pretty bad right now is going to be the sorry, hold on. The western side of Jamaica, and we have got no cameras over there. No cameras. Power's definitely off over there around the Alligator Pond. We did have a camera down here in Little London, and the power's off there. Right now, they're getting hit by some very strong winds, some very heavy rain. Power's out likely on the entire western side. Montego Bay, Alligator Pond, Manville. All these places are likely without power right now. Go ahead, Andy.
Ryan, a couple questions. First one is, what side of the eye wall will be the most intense? And that actually just depends on where the most rigorous precipitation is, just where it's heaviest. If the eastern side of the eye wall actually has a lot of heavy precipitation upon landfall, which has not been the case for a few times, like Ian is one of the reminiscent ones. If the eastern one does, though, then we have the rotating part of the cyclone, which is rotating counterclockwise, and thus the translational speed forward as it moves into the island, which is 6 or 7 miles per hour, as you said, with the rotational speed. Those things are added together; they're combined on the eastern side. So in a perfect vacuum, technically the eastern side would would have the potential to be about 5 miles per hour stronger in terms of winds and wind gusts, just due to that factor. But the west side of the eye wall can appear to be stronger than the east if all of the heavier rain is concentrated over there, or even the back side of the eye wall versus the front. All sorts of different things here can lead to the eye wall, some part of the eye wall seeming the strongest. And that's particularly because the wind speeds in a hurricane they drop off just a little bit as you get right to the surface. So basically, right as you go above the surface, the winds increase sometimes pretty dramatically. 10 or 20% is something I've seen with Melissa in this case. And thus, when you have a bunch of heavy rain, all of that heavy rain falling at once is going to tug those winds toward the surface. So you get that mixing of those stronger winds down to the ground, and that can lead to the stronger eye wall circumstances you've seen storm chasers have in the past. And that's why the west side of Ian was stronger than the east, and maybe we've seen the back side of the eye be stronger than the front side for some of those chases as well, that they've gone through the eye itself. It's just due to where the heaviest precipitation is dragging some of those winds down. Now, that's not going to be the case in the highlands of Jamaica and the hills, where they go up 1,000 or 2,000 feet in the center of the country, because you're sometimes pretty dramatically 10 or 20% is something I've seen with.
And here's a nice multi-view that we'll try to keep up as much as possible. And let's see here. Let's go back to the WeatherWise app. All of these cameras, by the way, if you want to view them yourselves and you want to look at the satellite on your own phone, on your own computer, you can get the WeatherWise app. There's a link in the description, and it's free. Just click the little cameras here, and they'll pop up for you. After the storm hits Jamaica, it is going to continue up towards Cuba, and it is going to hit Cuba near Guantanamo as a Category 4. Beyond that, it'll weaken some more. It'll hit the Bahamas, specifically Crooked Island, as about a Category 2. And then it'll go up towards Bermuda about 3 days from now as a Category 1. So it's going to weaken pretty quickly after it gets past Cuba, which means that the impacts to the east coast of the United States will probably be less than some of these other very strong storms that we've had out in the Atlantic, but it'll still cause some rip currents and some swells. So that's pretty much the gist. The plane that we're waiting on getting data from is getting much closer. So that's kind of like the next thing that we're going to be waiting for here. Seconds away from understanding the true power of this storm as it makes landfall, as it approaches landfall in Jamaica. And digging it, and it's going to try to get there right before landfall. And, if you zoom in on your WeatherWise app, if you zoom in on the satellite, there's no sign of weakening or destabilization or anything. So, the next pass could be even lower. Who knows? This storm is just full of surprises, man. This is an incredibly powerful and stable and well put together storm for a storm that is, a good percentage of it is now interacting with the landmass of Jamaica. Normally you would see that start tearing this apart, but it's handling it like a champ. And by the way, if you want to follow along with the satellite and all the cameras and stuff, download the WeatherWise app. There's a link in the description. It is free. You should get it right now. And when you open it up, it won't look exactly like. Okay, yeah, it's even closer now. It's pretty close to the western side of Jamaica now, this plane. It's actually getting into the strong winds and some of the thicker clouds there, the taller clouds. Yeah, 892 is what that plane got. 883 essentially. And with 182 mile per hour winds is what the plane.
That is scary. That it hit with that much force, and I definitely can say it's not any hurricane like I've personally seen. Like, I haven't seen the dark black colors usually. So to me, it's a way different storm than I'm used to seeing, and it's a very, very powerful.
Recorded. But officially from the National Hurricane Center, they've got it down as 896. Melissa is currently a Category 5 with 180 mile per hour winds. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Ryan, we're talking a lot about millibars, so I'll just go ahead and say what that is. Where millibar is essentially the unit of pressure, and pressure is, if you look straight up, how much does all of that out to outer space weigh on your head? That is the variable we're describing here. So when we're in the center of a hurricane, there is a massive, rapid, like trillions of kilograms of rising force and mass that is being departed into the upper atmosphere by the rapidly rising winds in the eye wall, and then there's sinking air in the middle that clears out that eye and warms it up for some of the variables that we're describing here with eye dryness and temperature at the surface and all this. But specifically, the pressure in the center of that hurricane is just how much mass relative to its surroundings has been evacuated out and away from it in an outflow channel. And if it is 893 millibars in the center of the hurricane versus a surrounding 1013 millibars, our standard pressure at the surface at sea level, then that's probably somewhere around 20 to 25% of the total mass of the atmosphere, because a lot of that weight, all of the molecules and chemicals and everything that's in the air, nitrogen, oxygen, those are the chemicals I'm talking about, are very low. They're concentrated a lot more toward the surface. So that lowest layer of the surface is where most of the mass is. So yeah, you are in fact evacuating like 25%, 20 or 25% of the mass of the atmosphere above this hurricane with that sort of pressure reading in the center relative to its surroundings. That's a rough estimate. There are equations you can run through and do derivations and all that stuff to verify that, but it is going to be right around that range, just due to the relationship between how much mass is near the surface and how much sparser things get once you get up higher in the atmosphere. So that's my take on that. Hopefully that helps you understand that we're talking about like the weight of everything in the atmosphere and how it's moving, how the hurricane is just flinging it out from the center.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Andy. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, when the eye wall starts scraping the south coast here, which is happening now, this is it. This is the most violent part of the storm that's making contact with Jamaica. We've got significant storm surge starting to happen now. We've got winds over 180 miles per hour possible as the eye wall makes contact with the shore here. And then we've also got some pretty high elevation areas that the storm's going to go over pretty quickly. And the winds could gust even higher up there, well over 200 miles per hour. It's going to be possible above sea level. So it'll be a pretty devastating hour or two. And then if this thing continues to go this slow, we're just going to continue to hear about the devastating impacts as we go forward. Right now, we're watching the western part of Jamaica the hardest, but do not let your guard down in Kingston and places like Jeffreytown and Port Antonio. The storm is going to get worse for you all as well before it gets better. So we're going to do a recon check-in every 5 minutes here as we await the next plane. There is another plane that's taken off from Florida that's getting ready to go in here and give us some more readings. We did lose a lot of our cameras again, so we'll try to get those back. But even without cameras, we'll be able to tell you a lot of information just from the reports that are coming in, stuff like that. I'm going to try to get the eye count down back up here in just a little bit. But I would say that we are within an hour. Within an hour. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Ryan, to expand more on that, literally think of the hurricane as like the shape of a cup that goes outward as you go up your glass of water or juice that you've got. And when it goes into land, it doesn't just like go up and over land, that cup shape, that cone essentially with a flat bottom. The land is just going to kind of intersect into it. And any disruption at any point of that cone is very detrimental to it maintaining its intensity. But in this case, when we have 1,000 to 2,000 feet high hills in the area of Jamaica that this is going to go over, there's like a little bit of a time lag just due to how intense this hurricane is. It has started probably to weaken a little bit and will continue to do so as it makes landfall much more dramatically, because the land is actually entering the center of that cone and disrupting it with a bunch of frictional force. So that's kind of a look into why hurricanes get ripped apart by land, and when they go over mountains that are much, much taller, that process is much more dramatic. That happened to Hurricane Patricia, which is still the strongest hurricane that's ever been recorded in terms of wind speed off of the west coast of Mexico. Well, it goes into this really tall mountain range in western Mexico and gets shredded almost instantly by 10,000, 8,000 foot peaks. So that's kind of a look into what we're expecting, why the category goes, the forecast goes down to a category 4 after it departs on the north side of the island and approaches Cuba. We look to lose a little bit, but not necessarily how much we would lose from 10,000 foot mountain range. So that's a look into that for those wondering about that.
All right. Thank you very much, Andy, meteorologist Andy Hill. So to kind of experience for humans, you know what I mean? Like going through this eye is going to be very weird. It's going to feel like the storm is over. And I can't tell you exactly what that's going to feel like because I've never been in an eye. Once again, most people who have ever lived haven't. But it's not over. And without warning, those winds will come back just as strong as they were. You got to stay sheltered for the eye. If you live near steep terrain, clear any debris ahead of time as possible. It's probably too late for that. Afterwards, be ready for roads and bridges to be damaged or impassable. So keep that in mind. If you've got a plan right now, you think you're going to go hit the bridge, take the road down here, this is what you're going to do after the storm, those things likely won't exist. So keep that in mind. Avoid the coast and rivers entirely until the all clear is given. Surge and flooding may continue even after the peak winds reduce, and that's very possible. The National Hurricane Center is going to be live in about an hour, so we should definitely watch that. Somebody make sure the storm's better. And
that storm compared to that itty bitty island, that storm's like swallowing it whole. It's awful to see. I just hope people stay safe and secure.
To tell you about the planes again, the planes are not in the WeatherWise app. They will be, but they're not right now. And just to give you an update on that, the reason we're not talking about them right now is because they're not in the eye. They're still turning around. We just got a location update on this one. It's north of the island. It's going to turn around and get another pass here soon. The other one, I think this one's going home. This one aborted the mission because they got way too shaken up in that last pass. They exceeded the G-force limit. But another free feature of WeatherWise is the cameras. You can pull these up yourself. As long as they're working, you'll be able to watch these for the duration of the event. There's 300 of you guys watching this one right now. There's 300 of you guys watching the Westmoreland one right now, even though it's down. Yeah, so you get up to 100 historical frames with the Plus as well. And you can turn on and off smoothing. So you can smooth the data to make it look better. So I'm just trying to, like, a lot of people are asking about this. I'm trying to get this out of the way before we get into full news mode and landfall mode. I honestly need to do like a full video just going over all of the WeatherWise stuff and just refer people to that. Because it's becoming a very rich app full of stuff. All right, let's go through these cameras again. Looks like we're paused. We're buffering on a lot of these. At some point, we're going to lose power completely. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit over here in Kingston. Camera's down there. Yeah, we're having a rough time with the cameras here. Yeah, look at this. They're all buffering. They will come back. We've seen this happen a couple of times. And I got to go push another button over here to my right. Y'all, what's going on in chat?
All right, Ryan, quick update from the chat for you. Everyone is still talking about a JS Photography live cam in Treasure Beach, saying the feed is absolutely insane right now. There are also a lot of questions about whether landfall has officially happened and what the storm's path looks like after it clears Jamaica, especially concerning Cuba and the U.S.
So it's not going to be bad for the U.S. That's not something that we've got to worry about. There will be some rip currents and some swells on the eastern side, but nothing like we have earlier. And as far as that camera goes, Treasure Island, hopefully our team is working on that. So we can't just like show anything. We got to get permission. Anybody that you guys are, a lot of you guys are saying like, show this person or show this camera. They either won't let us use their live stream or we can't get into contact with them, right? So like if I pull somebody's live stream up, and they don't like that for whatever reason, they can sue me, they can shut my channel down. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying our best to get permission and all that good stuff. Even though it's a public YouTube channel.
In case you're looking for the official, declaration from the National Hurricane Center. So that is the latest on the landfall status of things.
All right, thank you very much, Andy. That's meteorologist Andy Hill. We still can't say that we've officially gotten a landfall here, but like Andy said, it's something that we're going to be watching when the center of the eye makes it onto land. But if you happen to be on the beach here between Black River and White House, you can probably start looking up here soon and seeing the eye. Definitely wouldn't recommend that. Once again, we got to encourage everyone to stay in their shelter. Treat this as if you're in a tornado situation because the winds are going to come back without warning. Is the NHC live stream, is that still a thing? Not live yet? Okay. All right. I'm just waiting on that. Here's what it looks like over there in Kingston. You see some larger white caps now. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit more. Just a reminder, Kingston's way over here. Stronger part of the storm is starting to move into the area, so we will see that reflected in the live footage. But the catastrophic hurricane is hitting over here, where there's currently no live streams coming out right now. We need to, but this is a live shot of the storm as it comes into Montego Bay, which is, the conditions there are already pretty bad, but it looks like it's going to get a lot worse. Remember, the strongest winds are way down here, That's still several miles away from Montego Bay, but things are going to deteriorate pretty quick up here. Jamaica has activated over 800 shelters, but from what I'm hearing, many communities remain underprepared or unwilling to evacuate. So it's too late now, honestly, for a lot of these communities. So all we can do is hope for the best for those people who decided to stay back. Not everybody has the opportunity or the ability to evacuate, but going to the free public shelters is something that everybody probably should have taken advantage of. I think we're getting another advisory update. All right, yeah, we've got an official update from the National Hurricane Center. A new advisory is out now. Special update from the National Hurricane Center. We've just received a special cyclone update on Hurricane Melissa, and the numbers are still staggering. Okay, the eye is now approaching the southwestern coast of Jamaica. It is about 30 miles southeast of Negril and 230 miles southwest of Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. And the maximum sustained winds are still at landfall 185 miles per hour. That's upper end Category 5 catastrophic strength. Okay, the minimum central pressure is still 892 millibars, one of the lowest ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin. The movement is now northeast at 9 miles per hour. So this thing is getting it and digging it now. That's the fastest that we've seen this thing move, 9 miles per hour. It's moving faster, but still not fast, right? National Hurricane Center, in their latest update, they said this is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not leave your shelter. When the eye passes overhead, it may look calm, skies may clear, winds may even stop, but it's a trap. The backside of the eye wall will slam the same areas minutes later with the same 185 mile per hour winds from the opposite direction. And that can cause all kinds of problems with, knock down a bunch of trees, tear off a bunch of tin roofs and all this stuff, and blow it in one direction and then reverse the winds. Now you've got a bunch of loose debris and shrapnel flying around very easily. So, arguably the backside is sometimes more dangerous than the front side. If you are in southern or western Jamaica, stay in an interior room with no windows. We want to have concrete or masonry, if possible, which a lot of Jamaican homes do. They build them better down here. You want to put as many walls between you and yourself and the outside world as possible. You want to cover yourself with a mattress, blanket, or heavy clothing. Wear a helmet if you have one. Stay away from doors and exterior walls, and do not move during the eye. Wait until the all clear is given, which may be several hours. And I'm talking to you in Montego Bay as well. I actually know for a fact that we've got several people in Montego Bay watching. This goes for you as well. It's going to be slightly weaker when it gets to the other side of Jamaica, but it's still going to be very powerful.
That's just insane. The winds are hugely powerful, and I don't think I've ever seen something hit like this one is hitting. I just pray for everybody in its path, and that they hunker down. And if you aren't already a member of Ryan Hall, y'all, go over and look at his page. And in his description, he has the direct link, like I posted, to the Y'all Squad, where they send supplies down, as well as usually he does anybody who purchases any kind of merch, 100% of those proceeds will go to into the donations. So he's helped a lot of folks out. But man, listening to that wind, that's gotta be scary. I have no idea personally what I would do. I mean, those islands are usually hit more often, so the way they build them is a little different, a little sturdier than, say, here. But still, those wind speeds are incredibly concerning, and I'll probably be watching this throughout the night because Ryan's got he's actually got the radar up too, because it's already yeah, Radar Omega, because obviously this was an earlier live, and it has already passed to the other side of Jamaica, which I'm assuming then it's going to be heading towards. Already pushed itself on water. So it's going, I believe, towards Cuba. So I pray for everybody's safety there. I hope it... Yeah, I know he does, yep. Like I said, the best thing I could... Here, I'm gonna put it in one more time. It's also in my description. So what I just put in the stream is there's the first link is that goes directly to all donations. 100% of all the money goes to them to help them out after this is over. If you have an issue, you could always email me and or go to the Ryan Hall Y'all shop, and almost every time something like this happens, anything you buy, all of the proceeds, that including taxes, all the proceeds go to the Y'all Squad donation center. So if you're like out of country and it's not letting you do it, Ryan Hall does ship worldwide. So if you can't do it through, like, say, the first link or something, definitely go to his merch portion of his YouTube. It's in the last 2 hurricane lives that he's covered. If you go into the information, he's got both listed. I'm sure he may be coming back on later when it's closer to Cuba, or if it intensifies, all depending on the situation. Yeah, but Max Velocity is live too.
Max isn't live.
Oh.
Riley is. Just like Andy's, Ryan's, Riley is Max's. Riley.
Yeah, there's some storm chasers that are live out there to show what's really going on, and it looks so devastating.
But there's a possibility of a tornado outbreak in Texas. So they're
Yeah,
covering 2
there's
stories.
that, and then there was a freeze warning for Colorado, I believe, that popped up.
Freeze warning and a red flag warning in the same state.
So, as far as updates, I skimmed through just to get the gist of it. To show you, I will be monitoring with Fenrir. And if, especially him, because he's really smart with the radar. If something does pop up, don't be surprised if I pop back up. Ain't go live, but whatever is making me feel like dog doo-doo is, it's hitting me hard. Like,
I've been chasing storms since I was like 7.
yeah, I know. Every bone in my body and my nose are all stuffed up. Everything hurts from head to toe. So, but it did when I come live, so that way I can bring some information about this hurricane. It's just, it's incredible, but it's also Mother Nature. It can be beautiful, but oh my god, I can't even say it. Fenrir, can you say it?
Beautiful and disastrous.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's magnificent, the power of Mother Nature.
So, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. I know Fenrir will, because he loves watching these things. He loves weather. I did eat already. My little man went to the trunk or treat, and little Miss Princess Zoe went grocery shopping with her daddy. They both came back, and she passed out, and he fell asleep with her for at least an hour or so. But I'm going to be watching the radar, and if anything pops up, or anybody else pops up on like something outbreaking, like really big news, expect to get a little ping from me going online, even if I have to either go downstairs or use Squishy's laptop. Anything I can do, so that way, he's got a lot of subscribers. He gets hundreds and thousands of views, but every single view counts. It helps him help other people. So make sure you say a prayer for those in the path of it, and let's pray that it dies down. And I will keep my eye on it. I am going to go rest because I literally feel like I've got the stuffies. I've got yuckiness in my throat. Whole body aches. Didn't help that I stepped on something in front of the washer yesterday, and I have a bruise that goes it's as big as my whole entire arch of my foot, so that hurts. But to those, if anybody's listening, to those that are in the middle of this, stay safe. If you have family members, stay safe. Try to get in contact with them, but you might not be able to due to the severity. I know I'll be praying and watching, and if something comes up, I'll come on. If not, I will be on, I believe tomorrow's normal. So, what time? Okay, I'll be on a little later than normal. Because, little Mr. Peanut has, his therapy. And we gotta grab his meds too, so. What the heck? There you go. But I enjoyed everybody that joined me. I'll be back on here if something really crazy goes down. And if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.